The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this latest tech webinar. Today, we're going to discuss VCSP licensing and Pulse enablement. We're also going to cover Veeam's Customer Protection Policy and how this can be implemented using the latest version of Console and Pulse. Some quick introductions. My name's Graham Crouch. I look after EMEA Partner Services for Veeam, with responsibility for service providers, alliances, and GSIs. And I'm joined by Marcus Anderson, who's a cloud systems engineer in the Nordics.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Marcus. So just to let you know, the chat is disabled, but if you have any questions, please use the Q&A box and we'll be monitoring that through the call. Thank you for changing the slide, Marcus. You're automatically muted on entry. We will keep it that way. And afterwards, we will share the recording and the slides with you. So if we can move on to the next slide, please. So the agenda today, I'm going to give you an overview of Veeam's Customer Protection Policy, why we have it and what it means. We're then going to look at Service Provider Console and what that's going to add to your business and how that integrates with Pulse and is going to give you a much better way to manage and report on the licenses that you're using. A lot of these changes we're making are designed to make your life easier. We appreciate that some service provider programs can be complex and we want to make them as easy to manage as we can. We'll then give you a list of the additional resources and we will have time for some Q&A at the end. So we'll go to the next slide, please. And the next one. So what is Veeam's Customer Protection Policy? Well, I think within this industry, there's long been discussions about whether service providers and cloud providers like yourselves are end users or partners. And the view at Veeam is most definitely you sitting within our partner community and you provide us with a valuable route to market. Now, as you know, we've implemented over the years several schemes internally to help boost you as a route to market. The CCA, the Cloud Compensation Adjustment that we offer to our end user sales, means that it's neutral for them whether they engage with a reseller or whether they engage with a service provider. And that's given us better visibility into where you're effective within our customer base. Now, we all know the as a service marketplace is growing. And what we want to do is to increase that visibility and to make sure you're more engaged as a channel partner. And to that aim, we've launched the Veeam Customer Protection Policy a couple of months back. What does this do? Well, this gives us greater visibility because you can tell us who are the end user customers that you're dealing with. And once we understand who those customers are, we can flag that in our internal systems. This means that any of our end user sellers, before they go and engage with a customer, they can see who the incumbent partner is by solution type. So for instance, if you're engaged with a partner for backup as a service, then that will show up on our systems. This means our sales teams know that the partner of choice is yourself and that they should engage with you first. Now, this has been part of a policy that we've implemented across all of our partner types. We have great visibility with our resellers because on every order they place, we know who the end user is. And to make the VCSPs a true route to market for us, we need to see the same things. The VARs, the resellers, have complained for years that they need more protection as the incumbent partner. They did the work to win that customer in the first place, and therefore they want us to provide a level of protection. VCPP is our way of doing this with the service providers. You've done the hard work to win the backup as a service, DR as a service, M365 as a service, and therefore we need to protect you and make sure you're engaged moving forward. So, how does this work? Once you register with us, tell us who the end user is, that appears in our Salesforce records so that the end user sales teams can see that. All partners are eligible to participate in this program, but there's a number of requirements that must be met. So you need to enable end user reporting. You need to enable license key updates. You need to be using Service Provider Console version 7 with the Pulse plugin attached. Now, what is the benefits to you of doing this? So the first one that I've already mentioned is the visibility that we're going to give to our end user sales team. But the second is that we can start to provide and run some more incentives for you based around particular customer types, particular customer segments. So we can start to make put programs in place that will pay rebates or give you credits in the future. That's something we're investing in for 2024. It also means, as I mentioned earlier, we have the CCA program that enables us to pay our sales reps so that they're very neutral about which channel is chosen. Our aim at Veeam is the customer makes the choice of how they would like to consume Veeam technology, whether that's on-premise, running it themselves, whether that's with a service provider like yourself, or whether it's in the public cloud. That choice should be neutral, and it's up to the customer to make that choice. And we want to support the customer the best way forward. So our CCA program in 2024 will be reliant on the end user reporting that you provide through the VCPP. One of the queries we get all the time is, what information do you require? And how does that relate to GDPR? All that we require from you is the end user customer name, the DUNS number, the Dun & Bradstreet number, so that we can match it up in our own databases, and of course, the level of consumption that they're providing. We are not collecting, and we do not want to collect, any personal identifiable information. So we are not going to be incompliant in any way. So with that, I'm going to move on to the next slide. And as I say, all of you are eligible to participate in this, and you can use the code on the screen now. We will send the slides after the presentation to go to the partner FAQ, where you can learn more about this. And with that, move on to the next slide. And with that, I think I'll be handing over to Marcus to take you through console and how that's going to help your business. So Marcus, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Graham. Yeah, so Service Provider Console is key to this feature and program, but not everyone might know about this product from Veeam. For the first thing, it's free. It's included within the Service Provider program. And as you can see on this slide, I think it really grasps what it's all about. So it consolidates all our products and workloads into one view, one single pane of glass. So even if you are offering services for Microsoft 365 protection, public cloud, or the traditional virtual workloads like VMware, you will have everything in one portal. And you can see the monitoring, the alerts for those services for each and every customer. And you can also offer self-service restore if that is a requirement or need from the customer. But let's not forget about the day-to-day work, like configuring and setting up new backup jobs and policies. So that is also for management and configuration. But what we are here to talk about today is the licensing, and we have a plugin for this. So one of the core capabilities about the Service Provider Console is license engine and also the usage reporting, and that's what we are going to focus on today. When I speak to service providers within the Nordics, one of the first things they ask me is, how can you make my life easier with the usage reporting or license reporting? Because I have backup replication service everywhere. They are on customer sites. I have them in my own hosting environment, and I need to collect this data every month. Some customers have even created their own custom PowerShell scripts to collect this information. But then again, they need to maintain these scripts. So they asked me, Marcus, how can you help me? Well, the easy answer is Service Provider Console. We have all the automation that you need within this console, and it helps you with the reporting. But let's take one step back and look what we did in the latest version of 7. So before we had license reporting for Microsoft 365 or Veeam backup for Microsoft 365. But what we did in version 7 was to enable a lot of management and onboarding tools. So if you as a service provider can onboard your new organizations and customers from within one console, but also the organization itself, the customer themselves can do this onboarding. So they are not always keen to share the global administrator account, for example. Then they can onboard the organization, add it to your Microsoft 365 service, and then you can continue with the job configuration and do all the restores for them, or leave it as a self-service for the customer. What we also included was enhancements for public cloud. So for both Azure and the AWS appliances, we can now deploy and add them to the console. So I have everything in one view, and also do all the day-to-day tasks like creating policies, doing restores, and also check the SLA that you have agreed upon with your customers. In addition to this, we also broadened the support for backup replication. So before you could do some minor patches, but now you can actually do upgrades. So if you have version 11 servers and you want to upgrade to version 12, you can do this remotely from within the console. And it's just not that you are doing it from one place. You can also do it for multiple servers. So it saves you a lot of time instead of going to each and every server, remote log on and deploy the ISO and go through the whole upgrade process. It will be a lot easier from the console. In addition to this, you can also do new installations through the console. And this, of course, makes it easier to have everything set up the same, so you don't have different setups depending on who's doing the installation. Veeam agents for backup can also be managed through the from this console. And what we added in version 7 was to be able to perform file-level restores. So you have a restore portal directly in the console, and your support or service desk, independent if the customer is calling you with one specific server on a remote site, you can log on the console, search for that protected server, and do the file-level restore for the customer. We released the version 7 in February, kind of late in February this year. And as you can see in March, a lot of our service providers already adapted to this new version and have upgraded. But as the months go on, a lot more are upgrading, and soon I hope to see that everyone is at least using the version 7 version. But I just want to say thank you for using this the Service Provider Console and also staying up to date. Now, Graham touched this automatic license reporting, and it's part of the VCPP program. But so you have deployed the Service Provider Console, maybe you have set it up, or you are about to do it after this webinar. Either way, after you have done this, to be able to do the automatic license reporting, you have to submit a case to the Pulse support team, because we need your approval to collect this usage information So what you do is you go to my.veeam.com and you open up a case. You select the general inquiry case type. And then you also select the field that you have a problem with the VCSP pulse. And then you just give the information that you want to enable this automatic license reporting feature. when you have submitted this case and you got back the answer that you're all set, you're all enabled, you will go into Service Provider Console with the Pulse plugin. Now, bear with me, I will give you a demo of how to set all this up. So if this view is not familiar for you, I will show you what it's all about. But from this view, you can bulk select already existing license keys, and you can just enable the automatic reporting through the radio button. It's that easy. And when we edit this license key, you can see that we have the automatic reporting radio button here as well. So you can do it per license key when you create new keys. But what's really important here is to see that the expiration date is grayed out. So you can't select an expiration date anymore. And if we check this information pop-up window, you can see that the license key will be cut for 2.5 months and extended upon a successful usage report. So we need to make sure that the server that this key is installed on is reporting successfully to Pulse for it to be extended. Now, many of you might think that this is problematic, or how do I know that it's actually reporting successfully and so forth. Just know that we have some alerts and text boxes about this to make sure that you are compliant and that you are set up to make this work successfully. But it also makes it a lot easier to use these keys, because if you're not using it anymore, you will just revoke the key. And when you're creating it and you want to continue the service, then you just continue reporting the usage and it will automatically extend. So this is the part that's really, really important. So if you want to use automatic reporting, you need to enable ALK or auto license key updates on the server itself. So in this print screen, we have a backup replication server. It can be your hosting or remote site for your customer. And you need to check this checkbox to send this information, this usage information to the Pulse system. There are some additional benefits for enabling this. So imagine that you have a customer who protects 100 VMs, and they have an upcoming project where they're going to deploy a new IT system, and it requires 30 VMs, for example. Then you will change the license key within Pulse plugin and change it to 130 VMs instead of the 100. And when you hit save and update, it will automatically pull this information back to the server that uses this license key. So you don't have to re-download the license key. You don't have to install it manually and go to the server itself. Everything will be handled automatically. So some great additional benefits from activating this feature. And what happens if you don't enable ALK? Well, like I said before, we have pop-ups, we have text information about this kind of check. So if you want to use the automatic reporting and you don't have enabled ALK, you will get this notification that you don't have it enabled, and you need to check this and verify that you enable this. All right, so let me switch my screen to my Service Provider Console. All right, so hopefully you can see my Service Provider Console now. So this is the front page. I have my Service Provider Console set up. It's pre-configured with some workloads, some Veeam products are connected. So you can see on this front page, the dashboard, that we have some active alarms, for example, just to get the brief overview of how are my environment doing. And also see the infrastructure health of Veeam Cloud Connect, the backup replication servers, the Veeam backup for Microsoft 365, and all the agents. What's also important to note is the product updates. So you will get a heads up if there is updates for any of the products that you have connected. They will show up here and give you a notification that this can be something that you need to check out and apply those updates. But we are here for the licensing. So to go to the Pulse plugin, we go to configuration and we hit the plugin library. And then we check this Pulse portal plugin from here. Now this is pre-configured. As you can see, my status is healthy, but here you can always see how is the communication between your plugin, your service body console, and the Pulse portal. So it should be green and healthy here. The first thing you will do when you hit the screen is press this configure, and this pop-up will ask for a connection token. Now, this is really easy. All you have to do is follow this link through the Pro Partner portal, and it will generate a connection token for your account. And then you get this token back to the console and you enter it here and then just hit connect. Now, if you want to know more about this whole process, you can follow this link. It will take you to our Help Center guide where we will have step-by-step how to configure it. When you have this configuration done and your plugin are communicating with the Pulse portal, you need to enable these two, the company management and license key management, because that's what we are, what's required for us to cut new keys. So next thing we do is go to companies. Now this might be a bit confusing in the beginning because you might have already created companies within the Pulse portal, and you will be able to see them here. But we need to map those companies to companies within the console. And this process is really easy because we can either select map to if we already have created the company in the console as well. If the names are very similar, we can hit auto map and they will try to connect them based on name itself. But we can also create the company based on the same information that we have in different views. So for this company, it's created in Pulse, and then I can create it in the Service Provider Console. But we can also do the other way around if we are set up with the Service Provider Console and create the companies, but we are not created the companies in Pulse. We can do the same and create them in Pulse from here. Now, if you have this already set up, or you're just beginning with the companies within Pulse and Service Provider Console, you can select this radio button, and what it does is it will create the Pulse company at the same time as you create the Service Provider Console company. So really handy to have this selected, so you don't need to do all the mapping manually. When you have all the companies mapped, we can start to cut keys. So we go to license keys and we select new license key. From here, you select the contracts and you also select what product you want to license or create a license for. So in this example, let's say we want to have the Enterprise Plus for backup replication. And then we select, do I want to use automatic reporting or do I want the expiration date? Now, for this demo purposes, I don't have the automatic reporting enabled on this account, but this is the same automatic reporting view that you saw on the slides. When you add workloads, it's the same process. You select which workload or do you want to protect. So if you have VMs you want to protect, you just add 10 VMs, and maybe you have servers that you want to protect with agents, then you can select those as well. And it will it will show you how many points will that consume in total for all the different workloads. Then you just hit next and finish. Now that I have my new license key, I need to assign it to a company within the Service Provider Console. So I hit License Actions and I press Assign. And here I will see all my end customers that I have mapped and are ready to have the license key assigned. So when this is created, you have mapped the license key, you're all done. But of course, you need to install the license key on the server itself. So this is just an additional bonus. I want to show you how easily you can do it from the console. So if we go back to the configuration page, we have this licensing. And here you can see all the consumption that you have. So here is the overview of the usage of all the points you are consuming. Now, if we go to Veeam Backup Replication tab, I have some servers already pre-configured here. But let's say you have a new server for your customer, you want to install this key. You select the server and you go to license key install, and you can install from a local folder or from pools directly. So you don't have to download the key, you just select the product, you select which license key you want to install, and then just hit install, and it will take care of the installation for you. In addition to this, what you also can do is, if you haven't got this license auto update enabled, you can do it directly from here. So you can make sure that you have ALK automatic enabled for all your servers from this view. All right, going back to the slides to have a look at some additional resources. And before, this is the view within the pools portal. So when you have selected auto reporting and the information is put in the portal, you will see it directly here. So you will see which key is auto reporting, but also you will see the previous month. So you can make sure that if you have, for this example, you have reported 300 points, and this month it's 300 points again, that makes sense. But if you have a customer who did new onboarding of a new IT system, for example, you should see an increase. You can see it here, and you can also follow the additional points being reported. So if you haven't started with the Service Provider Console yet, here is a download link to that part. We also have the VCPP FAQ PDF file, which you can download from the middle link, and also the end user reporting guide in Help Center, how to report the usage. If you're new to licensing, or you're new to the Service Provider Console itself, and you don't have a testing environment, you don't know, or you don't have all the extra resources to try it out, have a look at this new hands-on lab. It's totally on demand, so you just follow the link and you request a lab. You will have it for a couple of hours to try it out. It will walk you through Veeam Cloud Connect, how to set up Veeam Service Provider Console, and also go through the rental licensing, how you can see all the usage, and you will also be shown how to leverage the file level restore for agents. So a really great guide for those of you who haven't started using the console yet. All right, so do we have any leftover questions?
So I've just launched the poll. It means I can't see what's happening on the screen anymore, but good news is quite a few people have responded, 60% so far. Majority say they either already have it installed or are about to or will install it. There's a very small percentage are saying no, and I'd be good to follow up on that. We have one question, Marcus, from Jan Nicholas. He said, we do not use the auto reporting feature, but have APAS, so auto populate, auto submit for our Pulse account. It seems that both functions are mutually exclusive. Do you want to take that one, or would you like me to comment, Marcus?
If you can cover it, that would be great. Otherwise,
yeah. So the auto populate, auto submit is linked in some way, because that looks at the license keys that you've cut and auto populates your Pulse report with those license keys that are cut. Now, we do know that some of you cut more license keys than you're actually using, so that can skew the results of the auto populate, auto submit. So they are sort of linked. They're not the same, but they are sort of linked, because if you only cut the license keys that you need, and you cut them by customer, as we've just shown you, and with the right amount, then that will make your reporting a whole lot easier. It will make the auto populate, auto submit a lot easier as well, and a lot more accurate. So hopefully that answers your question, Jan. We have another question, although I can't see it, from Moritz. I've just got hey at the moment, so I don't think your question's there yet. No, that's the only one we have so far. I'll give it a couple more minutes if anybody's got any further questions. Okay, so we have a further one. Hello, we create new license for Customer Impulse Portal. This syncs to VSPC, but it is still unmapped. If I want to map it, then I must create the new company, but it is not possible without Cloud Connect.
Yeah, so Cloud Connect is a requirement for Service Provider Console. So that is true. You need to install Cloud Connect, connect it to the Service Provider Console, and then you can unlock all the different features of the console.
Okay. And I've got a follow-up question to that says, but the Cloud Connect is not showing in Veeam backup and replication.
Sorry, what's the question? I can see them.
It was a follow-up. Let me just, Cloud Connect is not showing in Veeam backup and replication. So that was a follow-up to the same question.
It's not showing up. Can they expand on that question?
I don't have any more details at the moment. I'll wait and see if we get any more info on that one.
Yeah, because let me clarify. Cloud Connect is the same kind of product as backup replication. The only difference is the license key.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, let me just grab the next question. Not sure I understand this one. I have a question on 2.5 months out of license. What does that mean? I'm not sure we can answer that one with that amount of information. We have, yeah, let me just go to the next question. At the moment, we have one license key for most of our customers. My colleague told me back then it was recommended by Veeam to do it this way. So should we now have separate licenses for every customer? Yes, that is going forward. That is what we recommend. It makes it far easier to manage from both our points of view. So it is something that we would recommend.
It's also a requirement for the automatic reporting. Otherwise, it won't go. No, you will have conflicting numbers for the license key if two servers are reporting on the same license key.
Yep. Is there a way to make Cloud Connect Gateway reachable via HTTPS port 443 instead of the default port of 6180? That's not what I'm going to even attempt to. Move that one to you.
I don't. Yeah, the port 443 is used for also management communication. So I would guess that it's not possible. But maybe we can take or verify that that question offline.
Yep.
You can change the port, but I'm not just sure that you can change it to 443.
So just to let you know, the Q&A, we are answering some of these questions as well. We have somebody else monitoring the Q&A who's putting the answers in as we go. Next one, in terms of licensing, let us say for 2 VMs, I need 2 VMs licensing. Then to connect that site to our service provider console, it told me it needs a Cloud Connect license. So this is a similar question. Does this mean that for each workload, we need a Cloud Connect license as well?
Well, if it's a rental license you have installed in the backup replication server, you don't need, you need to license Cloud Connect, but it won't consume any licenses or any points. So it's included, Cloud Connect is included in the rental license.
Yeah. There's a question here I think is going to take a little more answering. We have existing clients that have purchased licenses through our supplier. Is it possible to add ourselves to their Veeam instance as a service provider? Could we then monitor backups through VSPC?
Yeah, okay, so the customer owns their own licenses and you want to...
Yes. Yep.
It is possible. Yes.
I think we just need to make sure that they're not reported back into the usage of the service provider then.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. In the service provider console, you can create resellers and assign customers to be managed companies for that reseller. Can you still cut keys via the Pulse plugin and assign them to the customers of those resellers? So this is where we have white labeling or using our reseller ready program.
Yeah, exactly. So you can cut keys if you connect your Pulse plugin to your contract, but if the reseller has their own contract with Veeam, they can connect the Pulse plugin to their contract and cut keys. So it works for both. Okay.
And I suppose that's dependent whether the reseller is happy to share who their end user customers are with the service provider as well.
Yeah, exactly. And some of them just want to use the service provider's services entirely, so they use the same license or use the contract that the service provider has.
Yeah. Okay. There's a very open question appeared as well. How is Cloud Connect licensed?
Well, like I said, if you have the rental license on the backup replication server that is sending the copies to Cloud Connect, it doesn't consume any points.
Any points.
But if the customer owns their own license and send copies to you, it's 5 points per VM, and also 10 points for any replications that you do.
Okay, I think we've reached the end of the questions. Okay, I'll give it a couple more. Oh, hold on, one more question. Do you have to set up cloud repositories to use Cloud Connect?
If you want to send copies, yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, our company has 3 locations. Veeam created 3 Pro Partner portals for this, each postal address. Is it possible to connect all of them to a single console? That might be a little longer answer than we can cover on here. I guess it depends how many VRAs you have in place, whether you have 3 VRAs or a single VRA. So we need to look at that one with you offline.
Well, okay, so, are they saying that the VCSP has 3 different contracts?
3. Well, they have 3 Pro Partner portals. So I'd need to have a look at that one.
And it seems Alex, I can see the questions now, and it seems Alex responded. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Great questions.
Yeah, some really good questions. So we've got we seem to have stopped on the questions now. So thank you very much for participating today. Thank you for the questions. The ones that we haven't answered live, we will get back to you on. So hopefully this has given you a good idea of how Console is going to help you with your reporting, and also how we can help you with end user reporting as well as your own reporting, and what that's going to mean commercially in terms of engagement with our sales force. So thank you very much for attending the webinar today. If there are any more questions, then please send them to us or contact your local account manager. And thank you again for attending today. And thank you, Marcus, for your time.
Thank you.